When you're studying prophecy, and let's say you're in the Old Testament somewhere, and you start to say, well, anywhere in the Bible really, but you see this. Behold, the day of the Lord is coming. The day of the Lord is an interesting phrase, and it's sometimes listed this way: in that day. What that's talking about is it's prophetic. It's something that's not yet happened. Now, this is the Old Testament. We're looking at Zechariah. But what it's talking about is the end of the tribulation period. Most people generally think of the tribulation period, they think of the book of Revelation, and the book of Revelation is largely about the tribulation. But there's a lot in the Bible, in addition to the book of Revelation, about prophecy. The Old Testament is simply full of it, especially through the prophets. The prophets were given visions about the future and what would happen. And sometimes that stuff was going to happen soon. Sometimes it was in the distant future. And sometimes those prophecies are a little bit intermingled. There would be like a dual fulfilling of the prophecy at times. For example, if a prophecy says that, A, B, and C is going to happen, and then later on A and B happened, but C didn't, well, that doesn't mean that only C is left. Sometimes that's all it is, but frequently it means that's all going to happen again, but it's going to happen in a more complete manner. And you see that a lot in prophecy. So when you're reading through the Bible, or you're listening to a sermon, and someone's preaching, and the opening phrase in that chapter is the day of the Lord, or in that day, just take it with a grain of salt, what's being said. There are a lot of pastors out there today who either are unaware of that or are afraid to preach it. But the point is, this is stuff that's going to happen in the future. And that future is very, very soon. I don't believe we're living in the tribulation period right now, but I think we're knocking on the door to it. When you start reading these Old Testament prophecies especially, they start giving you a timeline and things to look for. And all of the signs they point out, they're lining up. So we're getting close. But just remember, the day of the Lord, and in that day. When you see those words, that's talking about end times prophecy.